I don't know if this is working. My internet is being terrible. Oh my Jesus. It says I'm live. It says it's still on. So I hope this is working. Is someone else here or is it just me? Hi, I'm Josh. Welcome to my channel. Here to celebrate 1,000 subscribers. Give me a second while I send out a tweet and make sure my Wi-Fi doesn't shut down at the very beginning. So I'll just switch to the other computer. If you are here watching, there's no one here watching. But if you are here watching, give me a comment, please. We'll see if this works. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not sure if 1,000 subscribers is enough to justify a live. Again, let me know if you're here. Give me a hot hello. Hello, here to celebrate 1,000. Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope my Wi-Fi stays consistent. And hello to you as well. Don't have much of a plan for this, so it might be a complete shit show. But I figure I would just talk about books if nobody asks any questions. But if you had any questions, let me know. But I guess I should talk about the giveaway first and foremost. I want to do a giveaway. I'm giving away 2 of my favorite books. And the basic idea is you leave a comment saying you want to be included either in this live comp chat or after the chat, after the live is over, you can put it below. But you need to say I'm interested, and either give me your Twitter handle or your Instagram handle. And if you don't have either of those, you'll have to share your email address, which you could also just say, hey, I want to participate, and you'll share your email if and when you win. But I'll go through everybody who says they want to participate. But the books that I'm giving away, there are 2. And I'm not sure how popular they're going to be, but they are popular to me. Most of my favorites as far as the giveaway goes. Thank you. Thank you so much. So the 2 books I'm going to give away, one is one of my favorites of the year so far, is The Disordered Cosmos, A Journey into Dark Matter, Space, Time, and Dreams Deferred by Chanda Prasad Weinstein, or Dr. Chanda Prasad. And this is a memoir and science book about a Black Jewish woman in agender woman in physics. And I talked a lot about this. You can see it in a lot of my recent videos. The other one I'm going to be giving away is a copy of Company to Be Hidden by Sean Carroll, which talks about the many worlds perspective, which I talk about, I think, a decent amount on my channel. This is a little out there, I know, but I think it can be pretty fun. So hopefully there are people who are interested in these. If you are interested in one of these giveaways, just say you're interested, and I'll find people from the list of people who say they're interested. Assuming there are people. And considering my channel is still so small with 2 books, there's a good chance you might win if you just say, hey, I'm interested. But yes, The Disordered Cosmos was really good. I might try and read it for the years out again. I don't know, but can't recommend it enough. Yay. Okay. Well, good. Pretty sure I already follow you on Twitter, so if I don't need your information then. But great. Glad to see that. If anybody else is interested, let me know. In the meantime, if you have any questions, let me know. 1,000 subscribers, I guess I could do like a speech, as if this is a huge accomplishment. It is exciting. I love booktube, I love reading. And while the act of reading and the act of booktubing is itself fun, it's also very rewarding to know people are interested in watching. I know that sounds dumb, or I don't know, maybe not, but it's satisfying to know I'm not the only one who enjoys my content, because I definitely enjoy making it and watching it when I'm done. If I didn't enjoy watching it, I wouldn't enjoy making it. Yes, I'm probably going to end up ordering it from Book Depository or somewhere else if I can. So if you're in Europe, you can participate, since Book Depository can go anywhere in the world. That also means anybody can participate, which is, I figured, would be easier. Oh, sorry. You can't see what I'm saying. Yes, you can. You can participate in Europe, and like I said, I'm pretty sure Book Depository goes anywhere in the world. And that's how I was planning on sending it. The original idea was that I accidentally ordered 2 copies of this, and whether or not I actually sent out that copy, it might just be easier just to order this on Book Depository, because honestly, even if I have a copy to send out, the anxiety and the effort of having to send it in the mail is not worth the $20 I would save from just ordering it online. Okay, perfect. I think I do follow you on Instagram, so right now there are, I think, 2 people interested. Yay, so you have a good chance of winning right now. I'm drinking my water, staying hydrated. Would be drinking something more exciting, but I don't drink. Uh, it sounds boring, but I've had my fun in the past. Oh yeah, I guess I should focus on the comment that I'm referring to. It's my first time doing a live by myself. Usually Erica's here to support me. What else are we talking? Oh yeah, so it's exciting into 1,000. It really is. I kept expecting it to dip back down, honestly, like because I kept having people join and then leave again, and I've actually jumped to like 20 plus subscribers over 1,000, which is exciting, and it's staying. I assume people will get excited by they first see me and then they think, oh, never mind, I don't want this, which I know is a terrible perception to have of myself. Yes, thank you. And if there are any questions, let me know because I'm quickly freezing up. I can tell you what I'm currently reading since this is a booktube channel. I'm currently reading The Planets and Moon of the Crusted Snow. I recently read a science book, and I was going to move on after that to this, but I was like so fixated on the science, I decided to keep the science going with this. This is actually very good if you're interested in the planets. It's not a lot of new stuff for me. It's a nonfiction book about the planets, and it's by David Sobel, who is a science writer and journalist, and it's really good because it's very, that's what I'm looking for. It's very introductory in what it's talking about. And I think it's told in a very well thought out way. So if you're interested in the planets and you don't have any background, this is, I think, fantastic for the average person, meaning as opposed to getting to advanced stuff, which honestly, planetary science isn't that advanced, no matter how deep you look into it. It's not like it's cosmology. What are you trying to buddy read with me? Wait, what? I don't. Are you asking if I want to buddy read? I'd be happy to buddy read. I need to know what you want to read. I have a lot of books on my TBR to choose from, and I'm honestly a gall of it too. So let me know if you're interested in reading, and I'd be happy to buddy read something. Oh, yes. I'm not quite sure what you'd be, but it's freaking. But it is exciting. It's very exciting. Oh, shoot. Oh, okay. Oh god, now this is pressure. This is hot. It's a lot of pressure having to choose what to read. Oh god, look at my list here. Well, this is Octavia Butler slow read, so probably shouldn't choose Octavia Butler. Now I'm panicking. You know what? I'll get back to you. I'll think about it more, and I'll see if we can figure something out. I'm gravitating towards science fiction, but if you can at least choose a genre, I'll go from there. It's perfectly fine. I do a shit ton of typos all the time. Oh yes, okay, yes, that makes more sense now. It's freak. It is. It's weird. I um, I honestly have been projecting myself. Like when it first started, like I saw myself how long would it take for me to get to 1,000 subscribers, and like the amount of time that I need, and the progression that I was on like last year was that I expected to reach 1,000 subscribers in 2.5 years of being on BookTube, which has been more like a year and a half, which is nice. Clearly, I wasn't considering how things had the possibility of increasing if you get lucky. Um, it's me overthinking everything. So, oh, here's a question. Okay, what have you studied in uni, and when did your interest in time start? Oh well, some could say that if you have the deterministic view of the universe, my interest in time started at the beginning of the universe. And since then, it's all history. But to be more on point, I studied. Let's see. I started college in 2010. Oh, fuck! I just messed up my hair. Just me trying to fix it. Anyways, in 2010, and I started studying engineering. I was going to go into aerospace, and I figured I would do that for grad school, and I went into mechanical because I thought, hey, this will be a better foundation for a job. And then I got through with that my fourth year, and I'm like, I can't do grad school because I hate engineering with a passion. Like it's so boring. But what I did love, I loved the physics classes that I took. So it was in my last year, actually, I think it was my 5th year. Did an internship of my engineering program that I swapped over, or decided to consider swapping over, to planetary science. And so now I've been studying planetary science. I didn't get into grad school right away for planetary science, so I ended up doing a second degree in another year at my undergrad, Georgia Tech. And then I came here to Western University in Canada, and I did a master's in 2 years. Now, I want to say I'm on my 3rd year of my PhD to get my PhD in planetary science. So I do love planetary science. My love of time, where did time fit into this? It wasn't from necessarily my university. It was more that it was about university that I started reading books like, I want to say like Michio Kaku, who's like very futurist, and I loved his books because I was like all obsessed about the future. But he is less theoretical physics, in my opinion, and more like futurism, as in not real science, more just speculation, science bordering on science fiction. But then I also read a book that I already put on my TPR for another time. Hold on. I read this, which honestly confused me more than anything, because I was not prepared for this, which is about The Hidden Reality by Brian Greene. It's about different types of dimensions or realities, universes. But that's another story. But that got me hooked on a shit ton of stuff from Brian Greene, which he has a bunch of PBS stuff, PBS styled stuff. I don't have the book here, but this here, Fabric of the Cosmos. So after I saw his other book, I watched this Nova production, and they talked about the universe and about time and about space-time, the idea of basically time being a part of space and it warping and shit. And the idea that time wasn't what I thought it was, like that would just amaze me for the longest time. But it wasn't until the last couple years, last year and a half actually, that I decided to pursue time a bit further with these books, where I really, first off, wanted to make sure that what I thought was true in this book about time, like, which my view is like, shit, I'm going in so many directions with this, but it's okay. The block universe, if you think about the now as a slice of bread, our past is the other side of the loaf. Our future is is the other side of the loaf. And the idea of a block universe is that all points of our life exist within the span of the universe, not just the now, and that entire loaf is there. But then I wasn't quite sure. I just misunderstood this, and I read this back in December, and it sort of reinvigorated that excitement. But it was still like in the last year or so that I decided to really pursue time further. Why though? I'm trying to remember what book I read that reinvigorated it. Maybe it was just, now I'm confused. Where did it come from? Maybe it was just that I saw this book, or I just saw books in general and got me excited. I want to say I get this on Book Outlet, and that's what it was. I read this on Book Outlet. I didn't quite love it, and I didn't like what it had to say, because it's a presentist point of view, the idea that the now is the only thing that exists. And I saw a review of this by Sean Carroll, who wrote this book, and so I read this book, and now I've like really become seriously obsessed with the concept of time. Because even if you ignore even if you ignore the idea of the block universe, which I'm a big fan of because it's so much fun, if you can still think about relativity, which I guess another example that got me excited was it was around the time of Interstellar, when you saw how relativity would slow time down and it would basically cause you to time travel into the future. It was right around that time that I really fell in love with time, and I loved that movie so much because of how it showed the way in which special relativity works. It really fundamentally warps your idea of how the universe works. Even if we assume the now is the only thing that exists, that alone, the idea of how the now can flow differently for different people, is just a complete mindfuck. And I love it so much, and I love seeing it in that movie. So that was a great question, because exactly what I love talking about is time and science and planetary science. So thank you for that opportunity. Okay, more questions. What's a book that surprised you with how much you ended up liking it? Oh, good question. I wish I had hardbacks. I guess to go for a more recent pick here, maybe two. No, I think I'll go this one. I didn't know if I would love this one, because Ray Bradbury's The Martian Chronicles, a set of short stories. It's a classic. It's about basically Earthlings colonizing Mars. And after reading his other one, I think it was the one about the carnival, I don't know what it's called, but like an evil carnival comes to town. I didn't like the writing. It was harder to read than I was hoping for. Like, I love the atmosphere, just couldn't get into it. And then I read this, and it was just so much better. It's so much easier to get into, rather. And the variety of short stories in here were so well done. Like, it's fundamentally science fiction, but it sort of bleeds into fantasy. It bleeds into horror and a bunch of other just weird stuff. And even though it's short stories, it's a consecutive set of stories that starts with us first coming to Mars and then us totally colonizing it completely. And every story is independent, but they're all like in the future, like one after the other. So this one was like, I had hoped it was good, but it actually really, really surprised me. Another one that I think I had maybe low expectations for. I don't know, without having it all played out. I think maybe one from last year would have been, I don't have a hard copy of it here with me, but it was The Black Cabinet by Jill Watts. I read that it was one of the earliest nonfiction arcs I read from Nick Kelly, and it was about the Black figures in the time of Roosevelt and before that sort of tried to push the administration or the U.S. to be more focused and more attentive to Black issues and Black people, and how much during FDR is given to this picture of have being good for Black people, when in fact any good that he did do, which was limited, was in fact was not done by him at all. If anything, he actively fought against the steps that were done during his time to help Black people. And the book was very, very fascinating and got me really hooked on reading more history for all of last year. I think this year I'm sort of seem to be bleeding into more science, but last year, like, I was really into the story, how well it was told. And the narrator was really good too. I think it was Robin Miles. She was really good. But that one, I was surprised at how invested I got in the narrative and how captivating I found it. And I do have a copy of it, but I think I ordered it in the States, so I'll be hauling it next time I go home. So those are two books that surprised me, I think. Especially because I think The Black Cabinet is going to be number 2, or either 1 or 2 in my top nonfiction books of last year. So that definitely is there. And I put this at 4.5 to 5 stars on Goodreads. And I think I'm going to end up settling on 5 stars. So it's a good chance it'll be in my top of this year too, just because they're really good, really good. Another great question. Here for science fiction or thriller. Okay, I haven't read enough thrillers. And I have read way too much science fiction, so maybe I'll try and gravitate towards thrillers. But honestly, I'm not very excited about my thrillers. I don't have a lot of great thrillers on my shelf. Maybe that's sacrilege because I have a lot of popular thrillers. But okay, same. I projected the end of 22. Yeah. See, yeah. So I'm glad to know I'm not the only one who's making projections on where their subscriber count is going and realizing that it's just not what's happening. Did I ever share that tweet? I think I did. No, I didn't. Maybe I did. I was having internet trouble, so I wasn't sure. Okay. Yes. So what made you decide to attend school and study in Ontario? This, people ask me this and I answer it honestly, but I guess this is really putting it out there. If anyone who watches this, I mean, in total honesty, like, my opportunities were very thin, at least for the semester that I was starting. If I wanted to start that semester at a school, I had to choose this one. But I won't. While I'd be naive to think that didn't influence my decision at least some, I do think it's worth mentioning that when I was looking for places to study, the opportunities I had here were, first off, still, it wasn't exactly what I was hoping for. At the time, my undergrad, I was studying the moon Europa. If you've ever seen the movie Europa Report, it's a terrible movie, but it's actually a lot of fun. Horror movie, going to the moon Europa. I then shifted to studying Titan, a moon of Saturn, while I'm here. But the point is that they're both icy worlds, so that sort of kept me interested. But also, my undergrad advisor, she knew or knows my current advisor, and I sort of trusted her opinion and the fact that she felt like my current advisor and I would get along very well. And she was not wrong. She was absolutely right. I feel like my advisor and I fit very, very well. And obviously, it's a very important thing to have a good relationship between the advisor and the student, and having an advisor that fits your personality well. And, I'm not saying like we're the same person or anything, but she has done a great job advising me, and also sort of directing me in a good way that I guess that mesh well, doesn't sort of too much clashing. And it can be hard to find that kind of advisor. So I guess I was trusting her judgment. I also, I won't say I did it specifically to come to Canada, but I was definitely recognized that the change in the location, not just from the South, which was a big jump altogether, but to come to a different country altogether. I know it's still, the Americas not that different, but culture, still a cultural shift, especially coming from the deep South and having to adjust. I guess I recognize that it would be good to force myself in that position. I mean, the first 6 months here was actually pretty tough because I didn't like being away from family and friends, but that was really what did it. Now, when I decided to stay for a PhD, which was another decision I had to make after 2 years, that was largely because of the research I was doing. I liked doing it. I like studying Titan, I like studying icy worlds, but I also like my advisor. And to switch to a different PhD program after my master's here would have meant having to risk trying a new advisor that could have been, like, I think could have been detrimental to my PhD career if I went to a different advisor that was didn't mesh with me. That said, I don't love London as a city. I've become accustomed to it, but it definitely wasn't the reason that I stayed. I don't love Western particularly, but it does a good enough job. It's very research focused, so that's just what I've become used to that idea. I came from Georgia Tech where it was very much research, but also very much classes. And so it was a big jump going from not very class focused to being very research focused. But that was the main reason why I stayed. Also, like, all my shit's here, and I would be lying if the trouble of moving wasn't also part of it. Like, it's not the major part, but it definitely helps that I'm already settled here. I'm accustomed here. So another reason why I stayed. And that's why I decided to come to Ontario, Canada. Great question. Again, I'm surprised I've maintained 10 people through all those questions. I appreciate them. I guess it's mildly interesting to y'all. Hey, Josh. Hey, y'all. Hey, Josh. Congrats on 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Just every time y'all write it out like that, 1,000, it seems like a lot. I keep expecting to look at my numbers and see it drop down. It still hasn't happened. Oh, fork. Is we good? We good? Sorry, thought my Wi-Fi was going out. And again, if you're interested in the giveaway, there are 2 potential books. Something Deeply Hidden about, Something Deeply Hidden about the many worlds perspective, and This Sort of Cosmos, which is about a memoir and sort of a bit of science by a scientist. If you wanted this is probably more sciencey than this one, to be honest, if you're interested. But if you're interested, again, just put your name, say, hey, I'm interested, and share your Instagram handle or Twitter handle. Any other questions? This is one I do not own, but I have heard, like, originally I saw this book and I thought, I guess I wasn't very excited, but I keep hearing such positive things that my excitement has definitely grown for this book. I do have her other book, Jonathan Strange and something, and I do need to read that one. It's on my shelf. I don't know how this came into it. Oh yeah, here. I think I missed some comments. Look, it's happening. I'm officially missing comments. It's like a step up. I have so many comments that I'll get confused. Sorry. Let me go back now. Oh, the fact that I'm getting excited about missing comments. I don't know why. Yeah, I guess to build on some of the previous things I've said, honestly, yeah. When I decided to switch in my undergrad, like, I was right at the end of my engineering degree, so I still got too old, to switch. Or maybe I was 25. I was 25, maybe almost 26. We were way too old to switch at this point. And I figured I'll start with just getting another bachelor's, and maybe I'll like it. If I don't, I'll stop. And then I thought, okay, I'll then get a master's. And if I don't like it, I can stop after a master's. And it turns out I do like it. So at some point I realized it was exactly what I wanted to do. But all of it, like, if I had thought about what I've done and what I would do, it would have been very intimidating. It's really about taking it one step at a time. And I think no matter what you're doing, if you take it one step at a time and don't stress too much about the long term, at least for me, things have worked out. I've lived a very privileged life in a lot of ways, so I don't mean to pretend like I have it. But hello, thank you for stopping by. Wow, yes, wow. Have you read The Order of Time by Carlo Rovelli, I think? Rovelli? No, I haven't, but I've heard of it, and it's one of those books that I definitely want to read. I want it on my shelf so I can read more about time. The book's so far away. The next book I think I'm going to read for time is going to be The Janus Point by Julian Barber. He's the guy who wrote this book, and I was going to read them side by side back in November, but I did not like this book, unfortunately. But you can see my vlog for that if you're interested. But The Janus Point is basically looking at the block universe, where you have the beginning of the universe to the future, and it has this idea that what if the universe was inverted, so you have the exact same universe sort of mirrored in the opposite direction, where time goes in the opposite direction. Just to point out the next one of the books I'll be reading about time. But no, I haven't read this, and I do want to. I need more books about time. It's a little tricky though, because there are a lot of books that have the word time in the title. I think this is and you don't quite, like A Brief History of Time, maybe it's as obvious that it's not about time, but sometimes they allude to time, but it's not strictly about time, and it's about more cosmology. So it can be a little deceiving, but I'm pretty sure this one is about time, and it's one I definitely want to read. Hello. Book Outlet. I think this is about older comment. It was from last year when I was still ordering from Book Outlet. I think I was talking about this book, a book that I think I got from, there's a mark on it, so it means I got it from there. I think this is one of the first time books I read last year, or it might have even been 2019 when I read it. And it got me, when we're talking about what got me excited in time most recently. Okay, I've been thinking about checking out Martian Chronicles. I definitely recommend it. I'm so happy that it meshed so well. The audiobook's really good too. It's narrated by Scott Brick. He does a lot of stuff. He's kind of famous, I guess, but I like his voice for kind of sort of post-apocalyptic dystopian stuff, which it is also post-apocalyptic dystopian. It's not just about colonizing. It's a very negative outlook on colonizing Mars. I'll go ahead and tell you that, which is part of why I liked it. Some serious critiques of our society. Which are one of the time-related books would you recommend starting with? Okay. Oh, this is a big question. Lord. So, like, this one's overly long and very intense. I kind of wish I had saved it for later. Of the books that I've read, this is a lot, and it's also not just about time. But I do think this is a good place to start, because the description of time in a sort of, I don't know if he says specifically that it's like block universe, but he very much alludes to the block universe in this. And this sort of ties time to space, and it builds on that to give a more foundational look at all of cosmology. So it's a lot to take in. And I know it's probably might be overwhelming, but I do think this did a really good job of introducing the concept of time and how it interludes or intersects to space-time. You might consider checking out the PBS documentary about it first. I think it still stands the test of time. It's still pretty up to date if you want to see what he's talking about. It's a good way of hearing his ideas. There's like an episode I think devoted specifically to time in space-time. But I think this is my favorite one so far, even if it isn't so strictly about time. If you want a more deeper dive, this is a great book to go to. This is really thinking about, if we have the block universe, why then does time seem to flow? Why is time, if we are just matter within the spread throughout time, almost a loaf of the universe, why is it that we seem to be flowing through time? And he's talking about entropy, essentially, because entropy is increasing. The way in which our brains interpret that increase in entropy is chaos, by the way. My room gets messy with time. That's an increase in entropy. And because of that increase in entropy, our brain interprets it as time flowing forward. Sorry, I just bumped that. But this has good and bad implications. The good is that people we love and we care about, it means that the relationship we have with them, the moments we share with them, those moments are still just as real as the now. but it also means the bad moments are just as real too, and that they are still existing, which is kind of a lot. This idea of entropy also ties into the Janus point book I referred to, which was this idea of the universe going backwards. It just means that it doesn't matter which direction you're going on the axis of time. The point should be that if entropy is increasing one way or the other, if we saw entropy increase in another direction, we might seem like we're going back. We would interpret time in a different direction. There's a lot to unpack there. Hopefully I'm not getting too deeply into this, but that's what I would say. Again, that's what I want to pivot there. But Brian Greene's book, The Fabric of the Cosmos, or really just his documentary about it on PBS. Would you consider reading, I already touched on this, but Piranesi, if you haven't already? And what about The Long Way to a Small Planet is over there on my bookshelf. I do want to read Piranesi, like I said before, but probably not before I read the other book. So I'm not buying books right now. I have to get it gifted. And right now it's not really on my wish list, I don't think. But I definitely would, especially since I've heard such good things about it. I think it's Greek mythology. I like Greek mythology. Then A Long Way to a Small Planet, I want to read it. It's on my shelf. It's on the shelf that I would consider like my most excited list of science fiction. But it is something I bought late last year. And the way I approach books is generally that I want to let it sit for a bit before I pick it up. So I probably won't get to it at least till late this year, if not early next year. Hello, thank you for stopping by. See, another person saying it is amazing. Thank you, Sky Angel. I'm very behind. This is 10 minutes behind, but luckily there's not that many left. Okay, oh my God, I just got it, and I'm so excited to start it. Yes, oh good. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it. Yep, nice. Hey y'all. Hey Josh, we already got here. Thank you. Again, so we're caught up again. Heck yeah, love the excitement. Thank you. If there's so we get my phone to connect. Okay, so yes, so I don't know if I'm great at explaining stuff, but when it comes to things I love, I do get really excited. So I appreciate asking about those things. Did I see the Hugo nominations? Yes, I did see them. My responses? Good question. I did not prepare for this question. I can bring them up. I don't know if I've read any of them, Hugo nominations. That's not true. I have read some of them, and I definitely have a bias. So let's see. Okay. No, I don't want video game. Let's see. Do some purpose editor short form. I don't know any of these except for Ellen Datlow. I'm a big fan of Ellen Datlow. She writes great horror anthologies, among other things. I'm not sure what she's getting. I think it's just a general nominee. I think she is great. I can't speak to the others, though, so I don't know if I would say she deserves to win or not. Don't know the other long form fan artist. Let me jump to the series. The John Scalzi's Interdependency series, I haven't read it. The Chakraborty, the Devalbad trilogy, haven't read that. The October Die books by Shauna McGuire, haven't read that. Lady Astronaut series, I have read that. All for That Winning by Mary Robinette Kowal. And then The Poppy War by R.F. Krong. I've read the first book. I could definitely see that winning. I think has a great chance. The Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells, really good series. I do think the novel edition didn't work as well as the novellas, but still a solid contender. So I would put my bet on the Kowal and Kwong and Wells. And then novella. There's Ring Shout by P. Jelly Clark, The Empress of Salt and Fortune, Riot Baby, Upright Woman Wanted, Come Tumbling Down. I've read a couple of these. I've read one of these, Come Tumbling Down, and I don't think it deserves to win, that's for sure. No offense, I love that series, but that book wasn't the best. The others are all books I want to read. I think most of them are on my shelf. Maybe a couple of them aren't. So maybe half of them are on my shelf. And then novelettes, I haven't read any of these. I'm skip that. No, short story, fan cast. So fan cast, I noticed I heard there were two different YouTubers on here, booktubers. Kalanadi. I started following her channel. She does a lot of sci-fi and fantasy, I think, or at least a lot of sci-fi. And there's someone else, Claire Rousseau. I started watching her channel too, but I think she's been gone for a while. So I guess I would say maybe them. The others I haven't participated in. And then the novel, there is the Horror of the Ninth, Piranesi, Black Sun, The City We Became, Network Effect, which is a novel by Martha Wells that I alluded to before. It's not being as good as the rest. And did I say the one that's moon by Kermere Robert Kowal? For those, it's hard to say which one should be the winner of the novels. I've only read, actually not true, I've read Network Effect, but I've read The Relentless Moon, and I definitely wish it could win. The first book, oh shit, what do I do with my novels? Sorry, I edited a video, my books were different, so I got myself confused. I have no idea. Yeah, this one, Hugo, the second book didn't. The third one that is nominated that I would like to see, I think it was probably the best in the series, is this one. But what it's worth, it looks like there's a lot of great competition from what I've heard. I think I would give it, or I would, if I had to guess which one would win, maybe Piranesi, but I think Black Sun is a good one. The City We Became, I've heard good reviews, but not as great as some of our other work. So I don't know. I guess if I had to pick the top three, I would say Black Sun, hopefully The Relentless Moon. I don't know. Maybe Piranesi, or maybe The City We Became. I'm not sure which one I would say the third one there. But I feel like from what I heard from the Black Sun, I think has the best chance of winning probably. That's completely random, pulling that opinion out of my ass. So yeah, hopefully I noticed it froze. Hopefully everything's going okay now. My internet, for some reason on this computer, my internet's fine, but the computer just sort of says, no, Josh, you have to stop. You've done enough. But I wanted to be able to film it from my bookshelf, even when I'm turning it into a mess. So hopefully you didn't lose too much. Or if you did, let me know where I cut out. Oop, he's gone. Am I gone again? Oh, no, that was before. Yeah, sorry about that. Everything looks good now. Yeah, for what it's worth, the camera, the streaming face, like stops the show, goes black if I'm losing connection, which is a good design because at least I know it's not connecting. Any love for Japanese mystery thriller books? I'm reading the Hojin Murders, and it's really good. I do not have a lot of variety in my thriller collection. I think the closest to a thriller that I read was what I classify as horror, actually. I think I talked about this as my best horror book of the first quarter, and that was The Hole. But again, it's not really thriller. It's not really, it's definitely not mystery. I mean, I guess a little mystery thriller, but I thought it was more psychological horror. But this is the closest I have to, and I'm not sure, this isn't Japanese though, so I should clarify that. I don't know why my mind went to that. But yeah, I don't have I don't have a lot of variety in my thriller list. Definitely could improve. But I'll look into this one. Oh, did I read into Canada Reads finalists? I wanted to, but I did not. Ultimately, I don't own any of the books, and since I'm trying so hard to tackle books on my TBR and books on my ARC collection, I decided not to do that. Now, I did end up getting an ARC for one of the long list books, which was a book that's on my TBR. Something about eating, you are naked, you are eating an orange, something like that. I think it's like a love story, the traveling Japan or the world. And the rest I haven't read, but they all sound really good. The winner, I think, was Johnny Appleseed's book, or is that the title of the book, Johnny Appleseed? I really wanted to read them. They all looked really good. Canada Reads, for those who don't know, is like a competition of like 4 books being debated over to see which one book every Canadian should read. Last year, I read all 4 books and did a vlog about that. I didn't this year though, but definitely worth checking them out if you haven't heard about them. Just Google Canada Reads 2021. It was a great list of books. Green Shot is awesome. I hope it wins. I can see it winning for sure. It's on my shelf, and I don't remember. Like I do plan like months in advance, but those are like very tentative plans. And I think it's on one of my TBRs, like maybe in August or something. If everything looks good now, perfect. I'm glad to hear it. Nope, you're not supposed to see outside of the boundary of the bookshelf. Paul, you know it could be everywhere. Having read both Black Sun and Piranesi, I really don't know who could win. Might have a slight preference for Piranesi. Very different books, but both excellent. Okay. Are they not both fantasy? Am I wrong? Or I'm curious now on the differences. But yeah, I do own Black Sun somewhere. It's on my fantasy shelf. Is it? Yeah, it's over there. I ended up buying it like late last year because I knew I wouldn't let myself buy it this year, and I wanted it. Damn it, I thought it was over there. Now I'm not sure anymore. I swear I thought I bought it. Like I'm not 70% sure I bought it, specifically because I wanted to read it sometime this year. I'm not even sure if I'm going to make time for it anymore. And it looks like we're running towards the bottom of the questions. Are there any other questions? While we wait for more questions, I will, one more time, if anyone who's new here, if you're interested in being considered for the book giveaway, anyone in the world, I guess, should be considered, as long as like Book Depository can find you. I'm giving away Something to Be Hidden and This Word Cosmos, one of each. And yep, two of my favorite books the last couple of years. Okay, well, it looks like the questions are winding down, and it's been 45 minutes, which is, I think, a decent amount of discussing, unless there are other questions to be had. I'll probably just keep talking. I feel like silence is not a good thing to show in a live. I don't want people to start leaving, although I guess the idea is going to start closing down. So other than that, what? Yeah, I don't know. I have I don't have much more to say. I guess I've talked about all the books that I'm reading recently. Again, if you're interested in planets, the planets by Universal, I'm only saying it's so close. But this month, I guess I could say the month's going pretty good as far as reading goes. The first couple of weeks were better than this last week or so. I've been in sort of a slump after one of the books I read, but generally speaking, it's been okay. I think I want to get through most of the books I want to read. Which I guess, I mean, the reason I talk about it, I'm planning a trip home from Canada. I'm going to go home to get vaccinated, and I'm going to stay there for at least a month in between vaccines, which means it's going to be a change of scenery for the next month or more as I go home and live at home while I get vaccinated, since it's taking so long in Canada. The turnaround is a lot faster in the States too. And I guess since we're here, definitely should get vaccinated. I'm a big proponent of getting vaccinated. So please consider getting vaccinated if you can. But okay, I mean, there are no more questions. So I guess I'm going to sign off then. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Remember, if you're interested in the giveaway, you can always comment still below after this is posted or in the live. I will check back at it at 6 p.m. next week, next Wednesday. I will check and decide who wins. Right now, I think I have noticed at least 2 people who are interested. So that'll make things easy. But okay, thanks everyone for stopping by and for the congratulations. I really appreciate the support, and I'm glad y'all enjoy my content. I really, really do. I obviously couldn't do this without y'all. I wouldn't be here without y'all. I could always make content by myself, but I'd probably quickly lose interest if at least nobody was watching it. But I could ramble on forever because I hate saying goodbye, so I'm just going to do it. Goodbye, everyone. I hate saying goodbye. I really do. I don't want to do it. But okay, thanks again. As always, hope everyone has a great day. Stay safe. And I'm signing off. Bye. Oh my God. Check your internet connection. I can't even sign off. Am I still live? My internet connection is so bad I can't even sign off. I might still be live. I do not know. I'm just gonna end it. I don't know how much of this is getting covered. I should pick up my phone and check. What did I do with my phone? I'm the worst. And I'm just gonna sign off and hope this is the best. Damn it, I don't know what to do. My phone was just here. All I can do is sign off and hope y'all can hear this. If not, well, shit. My phone's up there. Oh my God. Okay, I don't know how much. Okay, now I'm live again. Did y'all at least see me say goodbye? I need to know. Did y'all see me say goodbye? Where did I cut off? It wouldn't let me end. So it means clearly I wasn't connected. Okay, I'm gonna go back to these comments over here before I go. I wanted a reason to stay anyways. Okay, oh, that means y'all heard the vaccine part, right? Yes. Got my first shot 2 days ago. Congratulations, that's fantastic. Fantastic. It means y'all heard that much, which is good. Clearly, I don't believe in science, but clearly that's a sign I should stay because it wouldn't let me sign off. Oh, have a great day. Thank you. Perfect. Yay. 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 Thank you. I really appreciate that. I don't know if it's true, but I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's okay. Yes. And remember, you could always still be eligible for the giveaway by giving a comment in the comments of this video at the bottom. Boom, boom, boom. Yes. LOL. Yes. Yep. You're still live. Perfect. I don't know how I was live and not able to disconnect, but okay. Glad I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to be filmed. We're still here. Yes, I did not see the new messages. It's really weird that it would keep me, the video would stay live, but I wouldn't see messages. I guess my uploading was fine, but my downloading was not. And you missed half the messages. Yep. Congrats. Thank you. Good to know. Yep. I'm shocked that it says y'all are still here. I don't know why you would say to watch me make a fool of myself. We saw you say goodbye and you never went away. Well, I didn't want to go anyways, so I was still here. Perfect. Okay, now I'm really signing off unless there are any other questions. Even then, thank you so much for watching. Thanks again. Bye, y'all. Is it going to work? It's still not working. Okay, this is weird. Come on. End broadcast. End it. Okay. I don't know what the hell is happening. StreamYard is just the best. Okay, end. Let me try this. Oh, Lord. There's no escape. Your souls are mine. God, it's not in the cards. It's true. It's not in the cards. It's trying.